After scraping through against the Toronto Raptors, the Boston Celtics now face the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Who do you think is going to win this matchup? Liam?
For me, it's the Boston Celtics. Obviously, you have the hot Heat in the sense their 3-point shooting has been incredible this playoff run. The series has been shaped up as the battle between an all-star Jimmy Butler and a superstar in Jayson Tatum. And I think the Celtics, their young core, comes out on top. I see Marcus Smart causing a lot of trouble for Jimmy Butler. I think that's going to really stagnate the Heat offense. Obviously, they have the 3-point weapons everywhere you look in Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, and Jay Crowder, who's become an absolute weapon this season. But I don't see it continuing. I see the Celtics defense coming out on top in this series and the Celtics winning.
Okay. What do you think, Alex?
Mate, Liam just mentioned he doesn't see the hot shooting continuing. Mate, the Heat have barely lost in the bubble, mate. They have, in the postseason, I think they've lost one game to Milwaukee as well, the first seed. That is an incredible effort. They swept the Pacers, nearly swept the Bucks, and they've had pretty much one of the easiest runs to the conference finals. And, I mean, I wish I could say the same for Boston, but they sort of didn't. You saw monstrous performances from Jimmy Butler, where he dropped 40 in one of the early games against Milwaukee. I mean, he only turned it up when he needed to, and I mean, that guy is just an absolute demon. He doesn't take anything from anyone, and he's just a massive dog. And I doubt Marcus Smart will do anything to him because he's just an absolute beast.
I think you're forgetting someone very important here. He's a guy who didn't play much in the Toronto series, but his name is Enes Kanter, mate. In the Toronto series, he only played 4 minutes, but he scored 4 points. If we extrapolate that to a 36-minute game, he'd score 36 points against the Toronto Raptors. I don't know why Brad Stevens hasn't been utilizing him, but I think he's the secret weapon against the Miami Heat. I think he's going to put on Enes Kanter against Bam Adebayo. 6'8" Bam. Enes Kanter's going to eat him up, mate. He's going to be extremely efficient, and I think that this is a secret weapon that Brad Stevens has had up his sleeve for the entire year.
Enes Kanter. You're talking about Enes Kanter. I don't even know what to say.
He has no reply. Yeah, exactly. He has nothing to say.
Well, one thing I've looked at comparing the two runs to get into the finals, we've seen the Heat literally have not played a bad game. I think their 9 playoff games, they've shot incredibly well from 3-point land, and we don't really know how Miami are gonna handle a prolonged slump in shooting. But we've seen the Celtics have had bad shooting nights in Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker, yet they've still adapted and been able to grind out some victories. I think if the Heat are shooting poorly one night, say they come out in the first quarter, they're not shooting well, the Celtics are going to be all over them. They're going to put that game to bed in the first quarter, and that's a playoff game done and won in a quarter.
Mate, did you not remember when the Heat came back against the Bucks and outscored them in the fourth, 13-40? The Heat know how to clutch, mate. They're like the clutchest team in the whole league. I think they've got the best overtime win record this season. I know they lost to Milwaukee in the playoffs once in an overtime game, and I don't know how many they've lost in the season, but their record is insane. I mean, because they're so young, they're so energetic, and because of that energy, they can easily play over a 45+ minute stretch with no worries. And I mean, it's pretty deadly for Boston, because they're okay in overtime situations, but definitely not Heat level. I don't see him outscoring another team by 30 points in a fourth quarter. And until they do, my money's on Miami to win.
Do you have a score prediction for this series? Any player predictions?
Yeah, for me, I like the Celtics in 6. I can see Jimmy Butler making this a series. I think he's an incredible talent and loves the big moments. We've seen him last year against Kawhi, put up a great fight. We've just seen him dismantle the Bucks and the reigning back-to-back MVP in Giannis. And I think for sure, just a few games alone, I think Jimmy Butler will win 2 games for the Heat. But I think the Celtics as an overall team, much better, and I definitely see them winning the series. I see Jayson Tatum, continuing that incredible form that he's had since the All-Star break. He's he's so young and he's still got so much potential. But I think, if he's hitting shots, you've got Hayward coming back, you've got Kemba with the mismatch. I just like the Celtics winning this series in 6.
How about you, Alex? Any final thoughts?
Yeah,
on the series?
I still have no doubt in my mind that the Heat can win this one. They've had way more rest than Boston will have. Pretty much had an easy breezy finals appearance for them. Conference finals appearance. You guys are kind of discounting Bam Adebayo's impact. I don't really see anyone on Boston who can guard him. He's a pretty good facilitator as well for a big. I know he averages around like five or so assists for a big. That's an incredible assist number. I like Miami's teamwork and their ethic. Jimmy's instilled all those young guys with a good work ethic, and I think
Awesome.
that's what will get him through.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll find out who is the winner of this series and who will be advancing to the NBA Finals in the next week or so.